posed to the ladies, and it was like, you know, if there was a father around, what was the conversation in terms of what you should pursue? You know, was it like a fairy tale kind of type of like Prince Charming, you know, or was it more of like a practical, you know, sort of like, hey, this is this kind of person, you know, that you should desire. But, you know, I feel like the conversation we're having, we can even take it away from who specifically communicated, you know, those messages in terms of like, was it the father or not? But just sort of more broadly, you know, as we grow up, you know, specifically to the ladies, I'll start off with you, Sam. I like to always ask you a question to start, you know, but in your pursuit of a relationship, you know, coming up as a youngin, you know, like, was the dream for your Prince Charming, you know, or was it like you're looking like, you know,
it's interesting because, you know, growing up, you see these movies, and it doesn't even have to be, you know, Disney movies. Even like, you know, your teens, you have the the guy that fights for you in the lawn with the boombox, like, you know, in your 20s, you have like, you know, this man just sweeping you off your feet, you know, kind of thing. So it's just it doesn't just sit with like, you know, okay, the Disney fairy tale of the Prince Charming, but it's like you are inundated with these images your whole life, basically, unless you are not allowed to watch television. Okay. So for me, you know, it's like I grew up I wanting the fairy tale. Like, not that he had to be Prince Charming, but something about him had to make me feel like he was sweeping me off my feet. And not so much, because then, you know, you hear women, oh, I don't need no man to rescue me and blah, blah, blah. And it's not so much the rescue. It's like, can we rescue each other? Like, how can we just, you know, be in this blissful fog where, you know, sometimes reality it's not bombarding you. So for me, you know, yes, I always yearn for that fairy tale. I feel a lot of times, you know, that majority of the time I did not get that. And it's not even was like, oh, kissing frogs, a lot of frogs to get to your prince. It was just like there was always something lacking, like for it to be the complete fairy tale. And I'll be honest with everybody here. So, like, you know, when we first met and first started dating, I felt as though, like, it was an experience I've never had with any other man. Like, just how, oh, hush. Where it was just like how you know, came, like, just your mannerism, just how you were as a functioning male adult, like, you know, it just seemed like a breath of fresh air. Like, it felt like an adult relationship. So later down the line, in my vows, you know, I put, because my mother is very like, fairy tales don't exist. Women are this way. Like, men are this way. You are set in these boxes. And I put my vows, like, you know, fairy tales do come true, because even though this isn't, you know, a textbook, you know, Cinderella, Prince Charming, blah, 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 for me, it was my fairy tale. Like, you know, I felt like I achieved what I longed for so many years. So for some people, I feel like fairy tales do exist. It's what your fairy tale is.
Right. You know what's interesting about this, though, because I never, even when, you know, the conversation came up in that group chat, and I thought about, you know, what my response was to it. It's funny because now as you're talking, I even think about, as men, you know, we also understand the fairy tale in terms of the role of the Prince Charming. You know what I mean? Like we do go through life also seeing those messages and seeing those depictions. And I think that like there are moments where we feel that that's what we have to present. You know what I mean? Because we know that that's the desire, you know? But it's interesting because I don't believe we, generally speaking, think of the princess the
So, because that's
same
what I was going
way.
to ask you.
Like,
Are
you know
you
what I'm
looking
saying?
for the
Like,
fair maiden? Oh, come, sweet. Like,
I'll say for me, I didn't grow up that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much Disney I watched growing up, but either way, I think what probably resonated with me more was sort of the expectation of me, you know? Because I think,
but like,
I don't know,
but yeah, but even like,
maybe,
okay, take that away, Disney again, 80s. You see Sweet 16, The Breakfast Club, the like, Pretty Woman, like just Breakfast and Tiffany's, just all these movies where it's just like this rich man or this bad boy turned love you, goes and, you know, gets the woman, like perfects his love. He,
right,
breaks out this shell. So it's just like, so a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us are looking for that, like, oh, he's so rough, but oh, he's so, he's so gushy, sweet around me, like, but if you're saying like men aren't looking, the same way for that fair maiden, like, oh, let me sweep her off her feet, because like,
no, I think we think that we have to sweep you off your feet, you know, but like only because it's more like we know that's what you are looking for as opposed to us looking, like, I don't think boys grow up with the same ideas around fairy tales in the long run. You know, I don't think that there's like a lifelong application of that, in my opinion. You know, that's not the rearing that I had where it was like,